to Romaine, Calm, and Carrot On at the grocery store. Today we are going to talk about protein and some of the benefits of it. First, I am Catherine Langlois, the dietitian here at Louisiana Blue. I am part of the care team and I work with our nurses, behavioral health specialists, pharmacists, and we coach members over the phone. We can assist you with your chronic conditions and other questions you might have regarding that. All right, so into protein. So with the plate here, it of course is 1/4 of our plate we want to fill with that protein. Protein helps hold us over a lot longer than our carbohydrates or vegetables will, even though both are important. Protein gives you a good satiety factor. Also, protein is good for wound healing, building muscle, tissue, and cell repair. So protein is all around a very good macronutrient for us. So we are going to go check out some protein sources and tell you a little bit about each. Don't these look delicious? This is some red meat, of course, some great prime ribs, pork tenderloin, chops, filet. Red meat, everyone wants it, everyone likes it. Okay, so the biggest thing is the more marbling, the more fat. That's what the marbling is. So as you check out your red meat, you'll be able to see, for example, the filet mignon has a lot less marbling versus some of these other ones. Also, this big, thick, center cut, boneless pork chop steak, it has just a little strip of fat on the end. I remind people that you can still have pork like that. So you can cut off some of that fat on the end. All the marbling is not thick throughout like some of these other prime rib options, which of course are okay to have occasionally. Let's talk about ground beef real quick. Ground beef overall to me gets a bad reputation. I feel because a lot of times we think about the high fatty burgers at a fast food restaurant, but at the grocery store, we of course have the different fat percentages. You can have the 80-20 all the way to the 97-3. So choose the leaner ones. I always recommend 90-10 or better than 95-5. But again, if you're choosing these lean ground beef options, it's exactly that, lean ground beef. So feel free to take a break from chicken and fish and make some tacos, spaghetti, some things with ground beef. Okay, let's talk about chicken. We have, of course, the white and the dark meat. Ooh. Which is better? Which is worse? Of course, everyone knows white is leaner. Yes, but I will say our dark meat is still a fabulous source of protein and it's not as high fat as people think. I strongly encourage you to take the skin off, please, of your dark meat. And of course, when it comes to chicken, we still want to limit the frying because now that is adding a whole lot of bad fat. So still bake, grill, broil, saute, cook your chicken and all those methods. White and dark meat, feel free to have your chicken like that. Now, okay, we do have the ground turkey here, a great option instead of ground beef. Leaner, of course, and it also does come in different options from 98% lean to the 93% lean. So there's ground turkey and the turkey sausage instead of that full fat ground beef. So ground turkey is a great option to have. One last thing while we're here is pork tenderloins. If you get tired of just having chicken every night, remember that a pork tenderloin is not a high fat cut of meat from the pork. This is just a raw pork tenderloin, of course not seasoned. So the sodium is incredibly low. You can season it yourself. They do have these two that are seasoned in some other flavors. And believe it or not, the sodium varies drastically between these two. One is a lot higher than the other. So if you need to watch your sodium, just check that food label, but know that you cannot go wrong with raw and seasoning it with some herbs and spices and sticking it in the oven. So pork tenderloin is also a great option to have as a form of protein with your meal. Okay, let's talk about deli meats. This is a hard one because is it leaner than some things? Yes. Does it have more sodium than some things? Yes. Would I prefer you to have a sandwich with nuts as a lunch as opposed to a burger and fries? Yes, it's a hard thing. So we can't be perfect all the time. So we will have something processed occasionally. So let's talk about this deli meat. Whenever we're choosing deli meat, let's at least try to choose the best that we can. So turkey. Turkey is one of our leaner cuts, lower sodium than the other options. So deli turkey is a great option. We also have the deli ham. So ham will have a lot more sodium than your turkey, just heads up. But both of these actually are very low in fat. Lean cuts there, but bologna. So not only is it a lot higher in fat, it of course has a lot of sodium as well. So if you're going to choose deli meats, just be mindful. I know there's also some deli chicken. That's what I want to say. There's deli chicken back there as well. So just try to be mindful when you're doing deli meats. Stick to the leaner cuts, but just know there will be some sodium, but that's okay. Just watch your sodium on other choices throughout the day then. Seafood. Okay, so of course in Louisiana, we have a lot of crawfish boils, shrimp boils, all that stuff. Seafood's great for us. It is a lean source of protein. The sodium isn't the best in these boils, but I don't expect anyone to stop eating crawfish boils. But let's talk about shrimp. A lot of people think shrimp is high in cholesterol. They tell me they think they need to limit it. While shrimp does have some cholesterol, remember, most people are getting all this extra fat and cholesterol from the fast food restaurants, their desserts, their oils at eating out. So if you're having some fresh shrimp with a meal, you're okay. So shrimp is an okay food to have. Fish is incredibly lean, and if you're not sure how to cook it and don't want to buy the fresh because you don't know when you're going to have it, there is tons of frozen options. Tilapia, salmon, tuna. And what I thought was so great, if you're not even sure how to season it, I was looking at these bags and they have meal ideas and they have a few suggestions for each on what to pair it with, and even a QR code to scan for some more meal ideas. But it's always simple as best when it comes to your fish, just a little butter and salt and pepper, and have that with a carb and a vegetable, and remember that plate method, and there's a great well-rounded meal. So go seafood. Okay, so let's talk about easy options for dinner. We talked about a lot of protein today and cooking it, but if you want to do something quick and easy and not cook, let's talk about this amazing rotisserie chicken. It is flavored, it is already cooked, such an awesome dinner option to have. What you can do is, of course, pair it with a carbohydrate, say potato, corn, and have your non-starchy vegetable with it, from things such as a side salad to broccoli to squash and zucchini to asparagus. I could go on for days, but again, the goal is you can have your protein, carbohydrate, vegetable. Easy option with the rotisserie chicken. Now, in between meals, we sometimes need a snack, but chips and candy are not our ideal snacks. It won't hold you over. Again, protein will hold us over. So let's think of a few things. There's these pre-boiled eggs. Of course, you can boil your own eggs, but how great that they already have these. This paired with a fruit could be a great option. So could just cheese. Cheese is protein. Cheese paired with a piece of fruit or some crackers. I am really liking these Crunchmaster crackers lately. They are delicious. I have the avocado toast ones that I use sometimes. So this is an option. Let's also talk about hummus. Hummus is protein, a bean all mushed up. So you can have it with, say, pretzels, or I saw these little prepackaged individual little carrots, but if you do raw vegetables with this, that's a great option as well. And one last thing just to throw out as I'm listing all this is your prosciutto. Of course, your cheese and the meat, or the meat wrapped around the cheese. Be aware of the sodium on this. We kind of got to be aware for some of our high blood pressure patients, but 0 grams of carbohydrates, full of protein. So these are some great snack ideas to have that is much better than opening a bag of gummy worms or Doritos. So Thanks for shopping today with me at the grocery store. I hope you learned some information about protein, and remember to remain calm and carrot on.